Well, good morning, Jaginder Rana here. Topic for our discussion today is mobile phone network operators policy. Mobile phone network operators policy. The mobile phone industry made a slow start in India in 1995. Several private players who had entered the industry in 1995 existed in the next few years due to a unfriendly telecom policies of the Indian government. High licensing fees and absence of proper telecom regulatory body. The growth in the subscriber base of mobile phones remained sluggish initially, reaching the 1 million milestones in 1998. In 1999, the Government of India announced a new telecom policy. This policy planned to provide telephone on demand by 2003. Among other things, the policy allowed unrestricted private entry into almost all mobile service sectors. So the government allowed cellular mobile service providers to share infrastructure with other operators. It also allowed existing operators to migrate from fixed license fee to one-time entry fee with revenue sharing. So this policy helped many private operators to break even faster. By 2001, the demand for mobile services was growing well. So the private companies concentrated on providing basic telephone services to consumers. The number of mobile phones crossed 5 million by 2001 and doubled to 10 million in 2002. So as mobile phones became popular, there was an increasing demand for better services and lower prices. This led mobile network operators to innovate and come out with other products and services. In 2002, calls on mobiles were made free, and this fueled the growth of the industry in the early 2000s. India had two major types of mobile services operators, one turning on the GSM network and other the CDMA. So introduced in 1995, the key features of GSM network services were nationwide roaming for prepaid and postpaid subscribers, along with roaming services for Europe and US. Now declining call tariffs and low entry barriers encourage the growth in this segment. So among other things, the policy allowed unrestricted private entry into almost all mobile services sectors. The government allowed cellular mobile service providers to share infrastructure with other operators. It also allowed existing operators to migrate from fixed license fee to one-time entry fee with revenue sharing. This policy helped many private operators to break even faster. By 2001, the demand for mobile services was growing well. The private companies concentrated on providing basic telephone services to consumers. The number of mobile phones crossed 5 million by 2001 and doubled 10 million in 2002. Now it has already crossed 35 million cross bars in 2003-4. So considering this huge prosper of mobile industry in India, Indian insurers have come forward with their mobile phone network. Mobile phone network operators policy to cover the various needs of the mobile users through their operators, and the salient features of the policy are important to discuss. Various sections of the policy are this policy has several sections. like Section 1 or risk material and physical damage, Section 2 data media cover, Section 3 business interruption loss of profit cover, Section 4 public liability cover, and Section 5 general conditions for all sections, Section 6 definitions. So detailed definition, terms, conditions, exclusions and provisions relating to the above sections were defined. Now the details of mobile phone network operators policy cover. Section 1 says material and physical damage. The Article 1 insured item. All equipment as itemized in the schedule is covered under the insurance contract as soon as it is ready for operation after a trial run and has been installed at the insured locations in the policy to take up its intended operators. Cover is still provided for the portable insured item if they are moved or transported within the insured location. Now the insured location means comprehensive cover is provided within the insured location as specified, and the cover is also provided for the insured items if moved or transported within the specified insured location. Insured losses or unless cover means unless hereinafter excluded, any physical loss will be covered under the policy. If an item insured under the policy is either damaged or destroyed due to an unforeseen event so that it is no longer able to carry out its intended function, or if the insured item has been lost due to theft, burglary or robbery. So cover is provided for all physical losses which have not been expressed excluded, for example for losses caused by fires. So fire with or without blaze through all kinds of explosion, implosion and a direct stroke of lightning. Crash of a manned, unmanned flying object as well as through existing, demolishing, cleaning or any damage caused during these events. Now negligence, untrained or improper handling of personal errors as far as human beings are concerned, intentional damage by third parties, malicious intent, strike, lockout, riot, civil commotion of terrorist attacks, segregation, aggression due to political, social, ideological or religious motivation, theft, burglary, robbery. Water means tap water, tidal water, flooding, backwater, groundwater, rainwater, collision, steam, frost, ice draft, water dampness and other types of liquids. The natural phenomena, acts of God, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, earthquake or tsunami, hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, tornadoes, storm, windstorm, tide, hail, avalanche, rock slide, acts of God. So errors in construction, material defects, manufacturing deficiencies or discrepancies, over voltage induction, damage through indirect lightning, technology related issues. Then insured expenses basis of indemnity is defined. After a loss or damage insured under the conditions of the policy, the insurance shall indemnify the insured either by payment in cash for the expenses necessary to repair or replace the item damaged or lost, compensation in cash, or by repair or replacement of the lost, damaged or stolen items, replacement in kind, replaced parts, salvage material shall become the property of the insurer, provided the indemnification amount shall not exceed the sum insured specified in the schedule. Then indemnification payment in case of replacement, total lost, cost of purchase and installation of an identical item or an item similar kind of quality. In case of repair, that is partial loss, cost necessarily incurred for material and labor in order to repair the damaged item, or in case repair is not possible or the insured item is not replaced, costs which have been incurred to repair or replace damaged but not higher than the mutual cash value of the insured item immediately prior to the loss. Then determination of the payment of indemnification. The indemnification payment is calculated by subtracting the deductible, the salvage value of the damaged item and parts, which can be reduced from the indemnification sum. if a number of insured items have been affected by one and the same loss event, only the highest deductible applied will be subtracted. Exclusions, parts and materials which are prone to heavy wear and tear, repeated or periodic exchange due to their specific functions and compositions are not covered by this insurance. In particular, these are likely auxiliary materials, exchangeable tools, exchangeable data media, tapes, belts, daisy wheels, lamps, etc. Tubes, for example, X-rays and laser tubes, not however cathode by tubes and EDP peripherals, encapsulated disk drives and intermediate image carriers. For example, selenium drums are only covered against fire, water and burglary if no special agreement has been made to the country. Then loss or damage excluded. The insurer shall not be liable for loss or damage directly or indirectly caused by or contributed to by wear and tear, abrasion and aging, war, invasion, act of foreign enemies, nuclear reaction, nuclear radiation, willful act, consequential loss, and event of which a third party as supplier or manufacturer or retailer, carrier to forwarding agent or contractor is liable. Cost excluded. The insurer shall not pay compensation for additional cost due to alteration or improvement to the insured item in connection with loss or damage. Sum insured. The insured is fully responsible for determination of the sum insured shall be equivalent to the actual insured value of each item. The insured item have been underinsured if the sum insured agreed upon is lower than the actual insured value, each item being separately subject to the regulations. Coverage of cost for debris removal. In addition to the sum insured stated in the schedule, the insurers will pay the cost necessarily and reasonably incurred with the consent of the insurers in the removal of property consequent upon physical loss or damage insured under this policy. Then data media cover. Insured item is all data media and the data throughout the respective insured company premises and the backup center. As itemized in the insurance schedule will be covered as hereafter provided. Backup data files and data media for external storage are also insured to and from the company premises, the backup storage facilities. Then this form will focus on the premium reimbursement. The insurer will reimburse the insured for the excess premium paid covering the insurance year just expired. If the agreed sum insured turns out to be higher than the actual profits named, if the insured reports the same to the insurer within 60 days after expiry of the insurance year. And agreed bank clause is there that upon any money is becoming payable under this policy, the same shall be paid by the company to the bank, and such part of the money is so paid as may be relate to the interest of the other parties insured shall be received by the bank as agent for such other parties. So it is further agreed that whenever the company shall pay the bank any sum in respect of loss or damage under this policy, such claim that as to the mortgagor or owner no liability therefore existed, the company shall become legally subrogated to all the rights of bank to the extent of such payment, but not so as to impair the right of the bank to recover the full amount of any claim it may have no such mortgagor. So this is all about this policy. Thank you very much.